Hello, friends. The river whispers as it curves lazily through the land. And this land? Well, it's a bit more down to earth than the heavens I've just passed through. You see, while gods like Varuna, Indra, and Agni were busy shaping the universe, the people who lived in the Vedic world were shaping something equally important: their daily lives. Welcome to early Vedic society. No empires, no sprawling cities, no golden thrones. Just cows, kin, chants, and chaos. And honestly, it worked surprisingly well. Let's start with their favorite animal. Yes, you guessed it, the cow. In the Vedic world, cows weren't just food or beasts of burden. They were wealth, status, and sometimes even currency. A rich man wasn't measured by how much gold he wore, but by how many cows grazed in his pasture. Gotra, that term we hear even today, literally means cowshed. Everything revolved around these horned VIPs, but don't picture vast farms and sleepy cattle. Vedic society was mobile, pastoral tribes moving with the seasons, herding their cows, setting up temporary huts, and performing rituals under the open sky. When they weren't singing hymns or milking animals, they were probably debating how many cows counted as a proper dowry. Spoiler, it was a lot. Life was built around the kula, or extended family. A father, his sons, their wives, and children, all under one roof or tent, or sometimes under a large tree if the weather was good. The grihapati, or head of the family, was the boss. He led rituals, managed resources, and probably tried very hard to make sure no one burned the rice. And speaking of food, early Vedic meals were simple but hearty. Barley was big, wheat made an appearance. Meat was eaten too, especially during rituals. And of course, soma, that sacred, mysterious drink, flowed freely on special days. Let's just say, no Vedic party was complete without a little chanting and a lot of divine inspiration. Now, what about fun? The Vedic people weren't all hymns and cows. They loved music. They played dice, sometimes too much. One hymn is literally a gambler's lament. They raced chariots, danced during festivals, and told stories of gods, monsters, and heroic ancestors. Kids likely played with clay toys, while teens dreamed of becoming warriors or rishis, or, for the very ambitious, both. But even in this simple society, there was a sense of order, if not hierarchy, at least structure. You had your leaders, the rajas, your warriors, the kshatriyas, your priests, the brahmins, and your merchants and farmers, the vaishyas. And then, of course, there were the shudras, who mostly took care of the dirty work. But hey, they were still part of the team. Over time, distinctions hardened. But in these early days, identity was still flexible, still finding its shape. And women? They had more freedom than you might expect. Some composed hymns, some attended rituals, some even chose their own husbands. Life wasn't always equal, but it wasn't yet boxed in by later restrictions. Politics, that was still tribal. Leaders were chosen for their strength, wisdom, or sometimes just their ability to win the next raid. But they didn't rule alone. Decisions were made in gatherings. Elders talked, warriors argued, priests chanted, and somewhere in the middle, someone banged a stick and tried to keep the peace. This was political democracy in its earliest form. You could argue, debate, and vote, not with ballots, but with words. If your speech was persuasive enough, you might just convince the entire village that your plan for the next cow migration was the best. And with that, I see the river ahead begin to widen. Its course is changing. Much like the early Vedic society, it's flowing into something new. And next, well, let's leave the cows behind for now and head toward the Sabha and Samiti, where the world of early democracy and political debate comes alive.